Welcome, yogis. My name is Erin, and this is a 1 hour all levels vinyasa flow. And this is a pre-recorded class to replace my Wednesday, February 24th class. Glad you could join. And as far as props today, any props with which you normally practice, if you like to have 2 blocks or a strap. And then otherwise, just your yoga mat, and we'll begin in a comfortable seat. Either finding Sukhasana, legs crossed, or if you're working toward Ardha Padmasana, half lotus, pulling one heel toward the opposite hip crease, and then turning the sole of the foot up. Wherever you're at, let the hands rest gently on the knees. Take a deep inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back. Lightly squeeze your shoulders together, feeling shoulders stack over hips. And then shut down the eyes. Begin to draw your attention to the breath. First, just noticing your breath qualities today. Close down the mouth. Begin to draw air gently through the nasal passage, through the back of the throat, and into the top of the lungs. Take a few breaths this way, beginning to match the length of your exhale to the length of the inhale. Eventually tuning into your pace of breath for when we add movement. As you continue to breathe, in my classes this week, I'm focusing on the theme of Svadhyaya, which is Sanskrit for self-study, study of the self, and sacred texts. So lately in my classes, we've been coming at our asana practice with anatomical themes focused on specific postures and alignment. So in anticipation of spring, the new season ahead of us, we'll turn inward today. We'll use our physical practice, our asana practice, to really tune into where we're at in our mind, in our body, and in our energetic body. At the bottom of your next exhale, begin to cultivate Ujjayi Pranayama, lightly constricting the back of the throat, keeping the mouth shut down. Begin to cultivate an oceanic vibration, an audible ha and sa sound, like you're fogging up the mirror of a car, but with the mouth closed down. Continue to deepen your Ujjayi. And I'll read briefly from a book called Inside the Yoga Sutras about Svadhyaya, 2 succinct definitions. So we can understand Svadhyaya as study, scriptural study, study of the self. We can also think about Svadhyaya as refinements of the intellect through introspection and the acquisition of knowledge. And so unlike the Western approach of looking toward outside and external answers to understand the self in life, yoga philosophy invites us to find those answers from within. Take 2 more deep Ujjayi breaths here, filling the belly with air and engaging the abdominals to push the air up and out. Good. And then open the eyes as we prepare to move. With an inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, bend to the right, reach the left arm overhead and hold. Take an inhale, reach through the left fingers. Exhale, bend a little deeper to the right. Maybe gaze comes up under the left armpit. Drawing breath from left fingers to left hip and keep both hips rooted. With your next inhale, sit back up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bend to the left, right arm up over the ear. Take an inhale, reach through the right fingers. Exhale, right shoulder back, maybe shifting gaze up. Continuing to root through that right hip and breathe. With your next inhale, reach both arms up, lift the gaze. Exhale, release the arms, and then bring both hands behind the body here, just outside the back of the hips, fingers pointed toward you. Take an inhale, lift the sternum up, shoulders back, and you can stay right here. To deepen this heart and hip opening, with an inhale, push the hips up, maybe buttocks lifts off the mat. Option to release head and neck back. Make sure you're not holding the breath. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, sit back down and release. Shake out the shoulders. And then uncross your legs, rolling over to hands and knees for our first tabletop pose. Stacking shoulders over wrists, really spread the fingers wide, and then press through all the knuckles in the hand in the center of the palm. Option to keep toes tucked or untucked. And with an inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjaryasana. Exhale, pull the belly in and up, Bitilasana. Continuing cow-cats on your breath. Arms are straight and strong, just finding movement through the spine and neck. On the inhales and exhales, keeping the belly muscles engaged, knitting in the lower ribs. Take one more cycle, inhaling and exhaling. Good, and then come back to your neutral tabletop and come back to your breath. Take 2 breaths here, just noticing what feels different from when we started our practice. Just noticing what you feel like in yourself. Svadhyaya. With your next inhale, extend the right leg straight back. Press the sole of the foot away. Option to reach left arm forward. Really press through that right palm. Keep the back of the neck long. Lift up behind the belly. One more inhale here, building some heat. Exhale, back to tabletop. Inhale, left leg straight back. Press the sole of the foot back. An option to reach right arm forward. Whole muscular body's engaged, but can you soften the face? Smooth out the breath. Take one more inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, back to tabletop, legs together, and sit the hips back for child's pose, Balasana. Walk your fingers forward, and then tent up on the fingertips, letting the forehead release to a block or the mat. Take an inhale, fill the belly with air. Exhale, pull the belly up under the ribs. Maybe feel the heart shift a little further forward toward the knees. Run the tongue over the teeth, soften the jaw. Come back to your breath. Just notice yourself. With your next inhale, press through the palms, back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, send the hips back for our first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So ideally, widening your stance between hands and feet so they're the same distance apart as they will be when you move toward plank. Oftentimes we walk our feet in a bit closer, so see if you can walk your feet back, even if that means heels are nowhere near the mat. That's okay. You can always take a micro bend in the knees. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Eventually finding some stillness in your down dog. Already here, tapping into that balance of sthira and sukha, effort and ease. Throughout our practice today, come back to down dog or child's pose anytime the breath grows choppy, or to check back in with yourself. Next inhale, roll forward to plank, and you can lower the knees here, building strength either way. If knees are lowered, they're pretty far behind the hips, but keep the core lifted. If knees are lifted, feel that long line from the back of the neck all the way to the heels. Push the heels back. One more inhale. Exhale, up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Hold here. Option for some core engagement. Next inhale, draw knee toward the nose. Keep the buttocks low. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, left knee toward the nose. Exhale, back. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Toes are tucked here. Belly is lifted even as you arch the back. Draw the elbows back to the ribs. Maybe gaze turns forward, chin to the mat. With your next inhale, slide forward. Hover the palms and kneecaps for cobra. We'll press the toes down in this variation, just like we'll use in our classical sun salutes. One more inhale, chest up, shoulders back. Exhale, press up through plank, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 2 Ujjayi breaths here. If you lost your Ujjayi, come back to that oceanic vibration with the breath. Just notice, no good or bad, just notice how you feel, what your breath feels like. With your next inhale, gaze between the thumbs, come up on the tiptoes, and begin to tiptoe toward the hands. Slow and steady to build strength. You can bend the knees as much as you need. And we'll meet in a forward fold, Uttanasana. Catch the opposite elbows. Catch the way that feels a little funny, the way you don't normally clasp. And then begin to sway left and right as you keep drawing top of the head toward the mat and weight toward the balls of the feet. Maybe feeling some lightness, some lift through the hips, relaxing the back of the neck, the face, the jaw. With your next exhale, let the arms go, bend in the knees, and begin to roll up. Press through the feet, legs are active. Head and shoulders come last. We'll meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. Reach down through the fingers, press through all 4 corners of the feet. Lightly squeeze shoulder blades together, and then tuck your tailbone as you draw the belly in and up. Find your longest, tallest Tadasana. Soften your drishti, your gaze, and breathe. We'll warm up the whole body here with classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes. With an inhale, palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, shoulders back. Inhale, arms straight forward and up. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step back quietly. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Lower knees as you need. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Elbows back. Inhale, slide forward. Find your cobra. Exhale, back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up with control and fold. Inhale to rise, arms forward and up. Exhale, heart center. Second side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, step back quietly. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank. Press the heels back. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale for cobra. Lift the hands and knees. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale. Find your low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Reach the fingers high. Exhale, heart center. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward. Phalakasana. Exhale, lower. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, forward for Cobra. Bhujangasana. Exhale, back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart center. Last side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward. Phalakasana. Exhale, lower. Inhale, forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale, up and back. Right foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step and fold. Inhale to rise. Reach the fingers high. Exhale, heart center and release. Come back to your strong mountain pose. Roll the inner thighs together. Reach down through the fingers and come back to your breath. If it feels okay, shut down the eyes here and come back to this concept of Svadhyaya, self-study. Often we create narratives about ourselves, stories we tell ourselves. Sometimes beneath those stories, there's a deeper truth. Simply noticing through your breath, through your strong physical foundation, where you're at today in yourself. 2 more Ujjayi breaths here. Good. Open the eyes. And from Tadasana, inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and step to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll all meet up in down dog. With an inhale, right leg up and back. And hold here. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press down through the left heel. Send the right heel high. Keep those hips squared. One more inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. And push the right foot through to the left for fallen star. Lift the left arm high. Really press through that right palm. You can stay here. Option to hover that right foot, challenging strength and balance. With your next inhale, plant the left palm, step through, and lower the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink the hips, and make sure that front knee is right over the ankle for our low lunge, Anjalayasana. Roll the inner thighs together. Option to untuck the back toes, deepening the stretch through the left hip flexor. Maybe palms come together, gaze lifts, but without letting the ribs splay out. One more inhale here. Exhale, left palm to the mat, right arm to the front thigh. Inhale, crown of the head forward. Exhale, twist to the right. A couple of options here. Stay right here, right knee over the ankle. Pop up on the back toes, back leg straight and strong. An option to inhale the right arm high, stacking shoulders. Parivritta Parsva Konasana. If the back leg is straight, press back through the heel, reach the sternum forward. With each exhale, twisting a bit further up to the right. One more inhale here. Exhale, right palm inside the right foot for lizard lunge. You can always lower that back knee if this is too intense. Either way, press through the palms, pull the chest forward, and really draw that right knee toward the right shoulder, keeping our knee joint healthy. If you're working toward the arm balance here, you can try walking that right hand behind the right foot, maybe getting right knee on top of right shoulder. And if you found that arm variation, bringing right hand back inside the right foot. Take an inhale here. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back to down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower, elbows to ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale for cobra, hips on the mat. Exhale, up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 2 deep breaths here. Smooth out your ujjayi. Just noticing what you feel like. With your next inhale, left leg up and back, and we'll hold here. Kick that left heel high, root down through the right heel. Hips and shoulders are square. One more deep inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, and push the left foot to the right, rotating the right arm high for fallen star. Either stay here or begin to hover that left foot, building strength and heat. Keep the breath moving. One more inhale. Exhale, step through for low lunge. Inhale to rise, reach the arms high. Exhale, drop into the hips as you lift through the spine. Keep that left knee right over the ankle. As you deepen in this hold, you might need to walk that left foot a little further forward. Option to untuck the back toes here. Maybe bringing palms together, gaze up as you draw the rib cage in. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, right palm to the mat, left hand to left thigh. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, twist to the left. Ideally, find the same option you took on the first side. Back leg can be straight, maybe left arm high, stacking shoulders. Either way, keep sinking the hips to reach the top of the head forward. Revolved side angle. Take one more inhale. Exhale, left palm inside the left foot for our lizard lunge. Option to lower that right knee. Either way, press through all the knuckles of the hand, pull sternum and top of the head forward as you draw that left knee to the shoulder. And if you explore the arm balance prep, Vinyasa, can try walking that left hand behind the left heel, maybe all the way outside the foot, feeling your left shoulder underneath your left knee as you keep lengthening through the back. And if you found that variation, walk that hand back in. Take an inhale here. Exhale, frame the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. We're all moving toward child's pose. Option for a flow with me first. Choose what you need. If you're flowing, inhale to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And if you're still in down dog, one more inhale here. Exhale, knees to the wide edge. Send the hips back, toes together. Wide-legged balasana. You can make this restorative, relaxing to the forearms, or tense up on the fingers, breathing through armpits and shoulders. Take a few deep Ujjayi breaths here, coming back to Svadhyaya. Study of the self, self-awareness inside out. You're welcome to stay longer. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through for high lunge. So that back heel is still lifted. When you feel stable, inhale to reach the arms high. Exhale, sink into the hips, lift up through the spine, and draw inner thighs together. Just like in our low lunge, find that dual motion of lowering through the hips as you create space between the vertebrae. Ashtachandrasana. One more inhale here. Exhale, and then begin to twist to the right. Keeping shoulders over hips, press back through the back heel. You can stay. Option to bend further forward, hooking left elbow outside of right thigh, turning right elbow up, deepening your twist. A couple breaths to explore your variation. Really make sure to breathe deep, even as you compress the abdomen. And if you found a deeper twist, take an inhale, rise up, and then reach the arms high. One more inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot and step back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale in down dog. Exhale, walk the hands toward the feet hips distance apart. And then catch the big toes with the first two fingers. Cap it with the thumb. You can bend the knees a lot here. Take an inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Padangusthasana. Let the elbows splay out, drawing weight toward the toes. Maybe feeling gaze turn up between the legs. With your next inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, and bear crawl your way back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll take all that on the second side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through for high lunge. Back heel is lifted. Root to rise. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Pull the belly in and breathe. Ashtachandrasana. Really press through the front big toe for balance. Back leg is straight and strong. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, thumbs to heart, Anjali Mudra. And then begin to twist to the left. You can stay right here, upright. Option to bend further forward, Hook that right elbow outside the left thigh, keeping thumbs at heart center, left elbow up. A few deep breaths to explore your variation. And if you found a deeper arm variation, stand back up. And with an inhale, arms up, gaze forward. Exhale, cartwheel the hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Either find a flow on your breath or find a resting shape. If you're flowing, imagine you're moving through something viscous like honey, really lengthening your breath, taking the full breath through your movement. From down dog, one more inhale here. Exhale, come back to your tabletop. Stacking hips right back over knees. We're moving toward thread the needle. Plant that left palm firmly. And with an inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread right arm under left, coming to rest on right shoulder, right side of the head. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, drape the left arm behind the back. Keep your hips squared. Eventually, fingers might walk toward the inner right thigh. It's okay if that doesn't happen today. And you can stay right here if this is feeling like enough. For a deeper variation with some more core engagement, option to inhale the left leg back, plant the toes, and then explore lifting that leg, pushing the foot back in space as you shift your gaze up to the left. Finding the version where you can keep your breath deep and smooth. If that back leg lifted, one more inhale. Exhale, come back to your tabletop. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, plant the left palm. Sweep the right arm back up. And then come back to tabletop. Good effort. Shake out the hips and shoulders. And then find your neutral spine. Press through the right palm. With an inhale, left arm. Thread left arm under right. Coming to rest on left shoulder, left side of the head. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, right arm behind the back. Walking fingers toward the inner left thigh. Keep those hips squared as you begin to shift your gaze up to the right. You can stay. Option to inhale, right leg straight back, plant the toes, and then begin to lift that right leg, pressing the sole of the foot back, keeping hips squared here, and breathe. If you took that leg variation, one more inhale. Exhale, lower the right knee. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, plant the right palm. Sweep the left arm up once more. And then release to your tabletop. Let that go. Wiggle shoulders and hips. And then with the toes tucked, inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, gaze between the thumbs. Exhale, step or float between the hands and fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, release. We're moving toward our standing balance. We'll take Vrikshasana tree pose today. So if you know you like a little extra support and you have a wall nearby, you can get close enough to the wall that your fingers could brush it. Otherwise, just coming to stand on your mat, feet hips distance apart. We'll start with hands on the hips, engaging abdominals, lifting up through the spine, and then lift the kneecaps up. Press through the left foot, And then kickstand that right heel inside the left ankle. From here, bring sole of the foot to the inner calf or to the inner thigh, as long as you're not pressing on the knee joint. It's okay if you wobble. Find a steady gaze, a drishti point, and then settle in. Option to bring palms to heart center, or maybe blossom your branches overhead as you root down through that left foot. Pull the left hip in. We'll hold here in your vrikshasana shape. Just noticing what you feel like, noticing what comes up. And we'll come out with control. With an inhale, lift the right knee, reach the fingers high, and exhale, release. Wiggle the body, let that go, and let go of what happened on the first side. If you're using a wall, shift your orientation so you can lightly touch that wall. And then begin to root firmly through the right foot, hands to hips to start. Kickstand the left heel to the right ankle, and then ideally move toward the same variation you took on the first side. Find your drishti point, soften your gaze, and breathe. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Keep pulling that right hip in and up. Option to bring palms to heart center. Or maybe begin to blossom your branches overhead, feeling light on the top half, rooted and grounded in the bottom. Come back to Svadhyaya, self-study, self-awareness. Once more, we'll come out with control. Take an inhale, lift the left knee, reach the arms high, and exhale, release. Widen your stance, a little wider than hips distance here, and then begin to rotate left and right. Swinging the arms behind, shifting the gaze, making these circles as big as you like, and using this movement to slow down the breath. Come back to your rhythmic ujjayi. Over the next few rounds, making those circles smaller and smaller until you come back to face forward. Good. From the top of the mat, hands to hips, take a big step back to face the long edge of your mat. Either side of the mat is fine here. For most of us, big toes need to be slightly in for outer edges of the feet to be parallel. You can always find a micro bend in the knees here. With an inhale, chest up, shoulders back. Exhale, push heart forward, hips back, and fold. Bringing hands down to blocks if you use them, or all the way to the mat. Striving here to get the top of the head to the mat. That might not happen today, but if the palms are planted firmly, press the palms down so much that the hips start to lift, maybe heels start to lift. If you have Shalamba Shirshasana 3, tripod headstand in your practice, you're welcome to go there here. And if you're working toward headstand, widen the distance between your feet so the top of the head reaches the mat. Yoga push-up arms, make sure elbows don't splay out, and then lift up from shoulders, lift up through the belly, maybe feet lift up. And if you do catch the inversion here, legs are active, press the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, squeeze the inner thighs together, and soften your gaze. We'll leave a few more breaths here to explore where you're at in your practice today. And if you did find an inversion with control, coming back to Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold. With an inhale, half lift, come up on the fingers. Exhale, walk both hands forward for a very wide down dog. If the hips shifted forward, push them back. Press through the palms, and then lightly roll the neck left and right. With your next inhale, walk both hands in. Exhale, walk the hands to the right. Bend that right knee, and then pull the sternum forward as you roll the shoulders back. Shift the gaze up as much as you can. So toes are still pointed toward the long edge of the mat here. Side runner's lunge. See if you can sit back into that right hip so you lift the chest a little higher. One more inhale. Exhale, walk to the left, bend the left knee. And when you plant the palms, pull the sternum and gaze up, sit back into the hips. Really press through the outer edge of that right foot and breathe. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands to the top of the mat, frame your foot, and we'll step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll hold here about 5 breaths. Option to find child's pose instead. Use these breaths to notice what you feel like. Notice your mind qualities. Notice what you feel like in your body. Just notice and breathe. If you found another shape, joining us in down dog when you're ready. And from down dog, take an inhale. Exhale, lower to the knees. And then slide the legs to one side so you can find a seat on the mat. Legs together. If you like to use a blanket, you can slide that right under the back of your sits bones. Otherwise, take a moment to pull the flesh out from underneath you, finding your flattest, tallest shape. And then roll the shoulders down and back. Feel the belly engage to help keep shoulders over hips. Bring the palms outside the hips for Dandasana, staff pose. Take an inhale, chest up, press the palms down. Exhale, engage the whole body, just like in mountain pose. Legs are active. Flex the toes toward the belly. And then lengthen through the spine. Option to shut down the eyes here in Dandasana, really going inward, exploring the shape this way. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, release. Let that go. Bend your right knee. Plant your right foot inside your right thigh, your left thigh. And then bring your right arm inside the right knee. Take an inhale, reach that arm forward. Exhale, drape right arm behind the back, left arm behind the back. Maybe fingers touch, otherwise you can catch the clothing here. Take an inhale, pull top of the head forward, and exhale to fold. Marichyasana variation. If shoulders scrunched up to ears, roll them back. Draw that right knee in. Use your inhales to lengthen through the spine. Use your exhales to pull the belly up under the lower ribs, deepening the fold. So we often think of folds, forward folds, as requiring a lot of flexibility. That's true, but they also require strength and deep breath. And it's our breath that allows us to deepen our fold here. With your next inhale, sit all the way up. Unhook your arms. Exhale, release. Extend that right leg long. You can tap out the thighs. And then come back to your tall seat. Bring the left foot, plant it inside the right thigh. And then bring left arm inside that left knee. Take an inhale, reach the left arm forward. Exhale, sweep the left arm behind the back. Sweep right arm behind the back, either catching fingers for the arm bind or catching clothing as you work toward the bind. Take an inhale for length, top of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Keep those right toes flexed, right leg is active. Soften the face, the back of the neck, and breathe. Once more, using your breath to deepen your fold. Each exhale, feeling the belly pull in and up as the sternum shifts forward. With your next inhale, sit all the way up. And exhale, release. Extend left leg long. We're making our way to the back, so we'll do so with some core control today. Keeping legs straight forward, but this time pointing the toes as much as you can, feeling all the muscles in the legs engage. Inhale, arms forward, thumbs up. Exhale, look at the belly and slowly begin to lower. As slow as you can, building strength. It's okay if the feet pop up. It's okay if you wobble. Eventually feel lower back hit the mat, and then middle and upper back. Finally feeling shoulders and back of the head release. Enjoying that sensation of ease after effort. With your next inhale, bend the knees, plant the feet hips distance apart, knees over ankle for bridge pose. If you'd like to use a block and make this restorative, you can have your block nearby. Arms alongside the body, palms down. Lightly tuck your shoulder blades together. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale it out. And with your next inhale, send the hips up. Tuck shoulders together. Keep those knees right over ankles if they start to splay out. Slide a block under your sacrum or hold yourself. Option to interlace hands, pulling fists toward the heels. Setu Bandhasana. With each inhale, feeling the chest lift, but keep the chin relaxed. And you can stay right here. For some play with our legs, option to inhale the right leg up. See if you can straighten the leg, push the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower right foot. Inhale, extend the left leg high. Push the sole of the foot up. One more inhale. And exhale to lower. Take one more inhale in your bridge variation. And on the exhale, slowly lower down. Take a moment in constructive rest, letting knees rest against one another. One hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Shut down the eyes if that feels okay. And come back to Svadhyaya. Just noticing what you feel like. Noticing your mind qualities. Maybe tuning into some new sensations through the effects of your practice of asana and pranayama, postures and breath control. Open your eyes if they're shut down, and with your next inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And begin to find intuitive movement here, rocking left and right, forward and back. It's a good time to add an extra beat or two to inhales and exhales, lengthening that inner metronome, your personal count of breath. And if you're noticing chitta vritti, mind thoughts coming up, use your breath to just become very present in your body here. With your next inhale, press the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, bend the knees, and catch outside the feet for Ananda Balasana, happy baby. You can find stillness, letting hips and back sink as you pull ankles on top of knees, or you can rock left and right, straightening through one or both legs. Continue to slow down your breath, starting to use your ujjayi not to heat up, but to cool down from the inside out. I'll leave space here if there's one final asana posture that's calling to you. The next 10 or so rounds of breath. Option to take legs up the wall or Supta Dandasana, legs straight up. Or maybe drawing soles of the feet together, pulling heels toward the perineum for Supta Baddha Konasana. No rush or urgency. Whenever you're ready, we're making our way toward Shavasana, lying completely on the back. It's a good time to shut down the eyes if you haven't already. Starting already to disconnect from physical sensations in the space around you and staying present with yourself. As you begin to make your way toward your final resting shape, two options. For traditional Shavasana, extend the legs long, feet apart, letting feet splay to the sides. Arms alongside the body, palms up. And if you're wanting more of a hip opener today, option to pull soles of the feet together and let the hips open to the side. But if you're noticing any muscle holds there in the hips, I recommend sliding blocks outside the legs. So you really want to let the full muscular body relax in Shavasana. Finding any clothing or props you'd like to have on hand. And then settling into your final resting shape. Shut down the eyes here if they're not already. We'll take 3 rounds of breath, inhaling through the nose, and on the exhale, we'll make a loud humming sound, any vibration you like. So it can be a low tone, a high tone. If you're newer to this, just simply trying it out. Preparing to inhale here. Try that twice more on your breath, any pitch you like for the hum. And at the bottom of your next exhale, let your Ujjayi pranayama go. Turn off any breath control, feeling the abdominal muscles relax. And maybe feeling a sense of calm, a sense of groundedness. Eventually letting my voice and cues become distant and soft. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but simply hold this shape of deep relaxation and integration. Come to rest easy here in Shavasana, corpse pose. Oh. Use your next inhale to gently come back to the breath and the body. Once more, beginning to feel the belly rise and fall. Taking several rounds of breath here before introducing new movement to check back in with yourself. Coming back to our theme of Svadhyaya. Just noticing, going beneath the stories we tell about ourselves, to really noticing what we feel like in the energetic body, deep within. As you begin to find tiny movements in fingers and toes, I'll read a quote here from Pema Chodron that I think resonates with our theme of self-study. Nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know. So I invite you to sit with that when you leave your mat today, remembering that our practice of yoga, asana, and pranayama is just preparation for what we do when we're off our mats. Eventually reaching arms overhead, find a full body stretch, lengthening through the spine. And then drawing the knees, find the fetal position on the right side body. Allowing a few generous breaths there before we bring head back above heart. when you're ready to rise, press your way to a seat. And we'll meet back sitting tall, Sukhasana, or Ardha Padmasana, half lotus. As you find your seat, lightly roll the shoulders back, just as we began our practice, maybe finding a little more ease in your seat this time. With an inhale, palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Thank you all for joining. Do share your feedback and requests for future classes. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. And if you're not already a member, you're welcome to join my donation-based Facebook group for weekly updates on class offerings and events. And if you'd like to make a donation to support donation-based yoga, you can do so through PayPal and Venmo at Freelancer PhD, FREELANCER PhD. And either way, really glad to practice with you. Hope to see you again soon.